Suzu met Seishu on the ship to Kei, and he explained to her that everyone suffers in their life, no matter who they are.
Shokei, who was in the kingdom of Ryu, was captured by the local authorities who had been contacted by Queen Kyo. Yoko, the Queen of Kei, began to suspect that Kokan, the Lord of Baku Province, was trying to assassinate her.
Kaki. I clearly heard Enho say his name.
The Sonko, including you and the Thai side, had been conspiring to kill the Queen.
No proof was ever found that
Kokan may have been angered by the dismissal either way.
Absolutely not, Your Highness.
Fire at her!
Enho was connected to Kaki, so he may know Kokan as well.
Keiki was the one who introduced you to Enho, wasn't he? Maybe Keiki and Kokan have been working together from the beginning. You are going to be killed by Kokan.
Come out of there! Rangyoku.
I heard your voice, so I...
Is this about Lo?
Do you remember when I brought Enho that important letter this afternoon? Every time that a guest is coming to visit us, a man named Lo delivers that same type of letter.
So, who is this man then?
I really don't know him very well.
He's the man with the brown spots on his hair, right?
Yeah, he's strange. He kinda gives me the creeps when he's around. And Enho always looks so depressed the day after he visits.
Hankyo, listen. Follow him when he leaves here, is that understood?
Yes, understood.
You were the former Princess of Ho, Sonsho, is that correct?
No, sir, you're mistaken. I am not such a noble, sir.
I have recently received a seicho from the Queen of Kyo with a detailed list of all the valuable items that were stolen by the princess. That list matches everything we found in your possession.
Those were given to me. A Hanju gave them to me at the inn.
That is a lie.
But
While being chased by a ruler of a kingdom, you carelessly stayed at the inn and kept a stolen kiju which is bound to draw attention. You didn't even bother exchanging the stolen goods right away, which is something that only a naive princess would do. However, I can hardly imagine a princess would make such a foolish mistake, which leads me to wonder whether you are even a real princess at all. And if indeed you're not the princess, then I assume that these are in fact your belongings, and that by accident they happen to resemble the stolen goods the Queen has asked us to search for.
you're right, sir. They do belong to me.
Yes. It all seems a bit suspicious. Although we aren't in the habit of taking the time to chase after such random suspicions. What should I do? I wish that I could disprove this accusation somehow.
If you were to somehow find it in your heart to let me go, I'd happily donate the goods and the kitsuryo to your office in order to pay for any trouble I may have accidentally caused.
Is that so? I could not accept any of those items if they belong to Queen Kyo, but if it's just a coincidence, I suppose I could. You are free to go. You are quite the smart one, aren't you?
Shokei! I'm glad they found you not guilty.
They were more than happy to let me go once I offered to bribe them.
What? Hey! There's no way the ministers of Ryu would do such a thing.
All ministers do that. That's how they enrich themselves. It's nothing new.
But the kingdom of Ryu is known to be a constitutional kingdom. The last King Ho even used Ryu as an example of integrity. There are many laws to restrict corruption. But if they took a bribe so easily, it means...
Means what, Rakashun?
that the system could be corrupt. The ministers in higher positions are supposed to supervise them. By the way, did you say you were on your way to the kingdom of Tai?
Yes.
You really shouldn't go there, you know.
But why not?
There are Yoma and Kyokai, not just in Tai, but also on the shores of Ryu.
You're kidding.
Ryu's government's collapsing.
What are you talking about, Rakashun? King Ryo has been on the throne for 1,200 years. It can't be that. Why now?
The kingdom of En is much closer to Tai, and currently there are no Yoma in En. After my stay here in Ryu, I'm going back to En. So if you want, you could...
Are you saying that you would take me to En with you? But you could have been sent to jail because of what I said about you before.
That wouldn't have happened. My pass is endorsed by a very noble person, and it guarantees my legitimacy no matter where I may travel to. There was no need for you to worry about me.
But I wasn't worried about you.
I suppose it's just in my destiny to meet people like you.
We'll go to Gyojin then, to cure your eyes, okay? I can't wait to see her. I've always imagined what Queen K is like. I would think that she misses Horai just as much as we do. Sometimes I imagine us just sitting and talking for hours about it. But then I usually start to feel empty inside.
Of course you do. It doesn't take much effort at all for you to just imagine something. You just sit there and think about it, but you're not doing anything about it. It's no wonder that you start to feel empty.
Don't be such a jerk about it. I don't believe it. This kid says that when people imagine things that it's completely useless.
Does he? Well, right now I'm beginning to think that maybe I'm the one who's been imagining you guys all along.
What are you talking about, Asano?
Tama, take care of this.
Hey! What are you doing?
Huh?
No inn is going to allow a woman without a pass or a hanju to have a room for the night. We were able to get a room before because of the sugu.
I don't care as long as we can sleep. We can still get a room with a wooden floor.
I can never do that again, you hear me? I don't ever want to sleep in a drafty, cold room with a thin blanket. Someone like you, who owns such an incredible kiju, could never understand.
What's wrong with sleeping like that? That's how all decent, hard-working farmers live.
What? No, wait, stop! No one who would wear a dress like mine would ever stay in a place like this.
Sometimes I don't understand women at all. I mean, what's so embarrassing about wearing a silk dress and then stopping at a shabby inn to see about a room? You know, I've had the opportunity to meet several refugees from Ho. The previous king was disliked by a lot of people, and no one feels sorry for the princess either.
Well, none of it is my fault.
Sure it is. Actually, it's not your fault that your father was chosen to become the king of Ho. However, being the princess also comes with certain responsibilities, too.
Responsibilities?
For example, the prince of the kingdom of Ryu works as an official here. In the southern kingdom of So, the prince assists the king, and the princess helped to build a public hospital. Sick people are now able to receive treatment at the hospital, and it's all because of the work the princess decided to create on her own.
I didn't know about it, I guess.
The fact is, you should have known about it. It seems that I know more about Ho than the princess of Ho. That should be much more embarrassing to you than having to wear what you call rags, don't you think?
But
most people in this world wear the exact same type of clothes that you're wearing, and they're not ashamed of it, because it's the best they can afford with the money they've worked hard for. Some people can go around wearing silk without having done much to earn it. But when you're just given magnificent luxuries, you're expected to give something of equal value back in return.
are you saying that it's all my fault? My father and mother told me that I wasn't supposed to be doing anything. I never had the chance to learn the right things. I'm sure there are a lot of people like me out there. I mean, look at Queen K.
Huh?
That's right. When she came here, she knew nothing about this world. But now she's living a luxurious life up in the palace. And you still say that I'm the one who should be ashamed?
You are jealous of Queen K? Do you think she just came over here and fell right into an incredible life that you believe should be rightfully yours? Queen K is accountable to her kingdom and her people. There's nothing you can have without taking on responsibility. And if there were, it'd be wrong. It's illegitimate. No one is going to listen to someone who wishes to live their life under those conditions.
I don't want to hear it! I don't want to hear it! Please!
I heard that the king of Ko passed away last year. Ho lost its ruler 3 years ago, and K's ruler perished just 2 years ago. Now look at everything that's going on in Tai.
I guess you don't have to worry about Ryu. The king has been around for a while.
Yes, that's true. And I suppose it's better than living in Ho or Ko right now.
But if the king's been around for so long, then why doesn't it seem to be very prosperous? The buildings are all really small, and the streets seem to be relatively empty.
Houses are built under the ground here in Ryu.
It stays warm in winter and cool during the summers down there. That's the main reason that they live underground.
My goodness. I really don't know anything, do I?
To be honest, I don't like traveling through these parts without an escort.
They told us the same thing in Meikaku, that we should have an escort while we travel. But I wanted to save some money, so I decided not to hire any.
You must be quite a brave young lady.
We're in a rush also. We need to get to Gyoten as soon as possible.
I'm only going as far as Takuho. It only takes about 5 days to get to Gyoten from there.
Good.
But are you...
What's going on up there?
You made a big mistake not hiring an escort. Hey, what do you got there?
Stay back or I'll shoot!
Huh? What's this? Oh!
Don't you move! Die, you lousy!
All right, stop it.
Move it! I can shoot this! I know that I can do it! That's the mission that I'm supposed to carry out!
Wait a minute. What the hell is he saying? Are you a Kaikyaku then?
Kaikyaku?
Who are you guys, anyway?
This is the weapon of a Kaikyaku? Very interesting. It would not be worth it for you to kill any of them. The real enemy is a much more dangerous one. That's why we're out here gathering allies willing to join us.
Kantai, don't forget he's a Kaikyaku.
If you're interested, then come to an inn called Rokurin Inn in Hokaku. Anyone's welcome.
Hold it. I could understand what he said to me.
You're not from around here, and since you don't pay taxes, we got a little worried and came to make sure you were okay while traveling through these parts.
We're sorry for causing trouble.
It's hard to convince some people to hire escorts, but I suppose I look more like a thief myself.
I guess this is all my fault.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Why don't you just admit it? They told us to hire an escort before we left, but I didn't listen to them. It is my fault.
No, that's not true.
If you knew I was wrong, why didn't you say it?
Is there something the matter?
I can't believe it. I'm beginning to sound just like Lady Rio does.
Is that the Sennin you told me about, the one you used to work for?
Everyone that worked for Lady Rio seemed to really hate her. But none of us would ever tell her how we felt because we didn't have the courage to say it to her. So instead, we just told her that we loved her and tried to be good servants. But then she'd keep asking us what we really thought of her and then treat us like she didn't believe a word we were saying.
You know, when I stop and think about it, I feel kind of sorry for that Lady Rio.
Why's that?
You didn't reject hiring some escorts knowing that we would be ambushed, right? Of course not, because you had no choice. That's why you feel frustrated. I think Lady Rio was frustrated. Something else must have been bothering her, and she didn't know what else to do but to take it out on all of you.
Really? You think so?
I'm sure she must have felt terrible about it afterwards. But when she saw that you guys were obviously lying to her, I'll bet that was enough to make her feel even more angry and frustrated. And when that happens to you a lot, you become stubborn and headstrong. Then you want to force them to tell you the truth. And I can understand how frustrating that might be.
Oh, is that right? Like you have any idea how Lady Rio was feeling. It's just that She gave me such a hard time while I was with her.
You're always crying about one thing or another. I don't like when people cry like that.
I wasn't always like this. I used to be able to get through just about anything without crying.
I'll bet. When my village in K burned down, many people in the village died, and the conditions there were so bad that all we could do was escape to Ko. I still remember when I went back to see the remains of the house. I cried my eyes out. I was so sad, I couldn't hold it. I thought I would never stop crying. But then, I realized that there are only two reasons why people cry. One is when you're feeling sorry for yourself, and the other is when you're just really sad. Choosing to cry when you're just feeling sorry for yourself is something that you would see a kid do. But you're crying out for someone to help you. Mom, Dad, somebody please help me. Anyone, please.
After your eyes get cured, do you want to go back there again?
You mean go back there with you? I'm not quite sure yet. If I want to go with a crybaby.
About the load.
Right. I'll let you handle it.
Okay, you got it.
I know the one man is Ro, but I don't think the other one is the guest from last night.
The guest from last night left early this morning. Your Majesty.
Maybe they're somehow connected to the Minister of Court who tried to have me killed.
It's too risky.
I'm not gonna run away.
Beyond this bridge is Takuho. At that point, it becomes the district of Wa Province.
Wa Province? The Lord of Wa Province is Gaho. Seikyo says he's not to be trusted.
What's up, kid? Need something?
I wanted to ask you for some directions.
Why's that? Do you think that you're lost? Or did you come over here looking for something a little more specific?
I'm not quite sure. May I look around?
A woman. You must be feeling awfully brave to come wandering in here.
I'm only here to ask for some directions.
You expect me to believe that? You followed me here, didn't you? So what is it that you came here to find out?
She's here looking for me.
Huh?
So then, did you bring that message from Enho for me?
No, You're the one who...
Enho? Do you mean your old teacher?
Yeah, she's staying with him. Sorry if they scared you a little back there. There aren't too many young women that come around here. Tell Enho that I'll be coming to visit him again soon. Thank you.
Why did you save that girl, huh, Seki?
What I really did was save you from her.
What are you talking about?
It was something I heard. Probably a longsword.
I'll go find us a place to stay. You should try not to move around too much.
Are you gonna leave me here with him?
What, are you afraid of him now? Oh, please, give me a break.
So then, you said you lost your village in a shoku, right? You hate me, don't you? Because I came here by a shoku. I know just what you're thinking.
What? I don't understand. Hey, where are you going? He shouldn't be walking around by himself. He can't even speak the language.
Hey!
I'm sorry.
Watch where you're going.
Huh?
Move it! You're blocking the pathway of a nobleman!
I'm sorry. I was just...
Keep going.
What have you done? Are you crazy?
So, a Kaikyaku. Are you going to kill me? The great Shoko? I'd like to see you try.
Are you all right? Someone, get a stretcher, hurry! Even Heki Soju is not working now. Hang in there, I'll get you a doctor, okay?
I don't wanna... I can't... I don't wanna die.
You'll be fine.
Because Suzu... is going to cry again.
How come? No one tried to help him. Who was in that carriage?
Seishu, I'll get you a doctor.
Is your name Suzu? Because he was concerned. With his very last breath, he asked that you not cry. I think that's what he was trying to say.
No, he can't. Seishu! Seishu!
Without a ruler on the throne, a kingdom will fall. Wonders if that is what will happen to Ho. Shoke finally comes to her senses. The 12 Kingdoms, Episode 31. A Great Distance in the Wind, the Sky at Dawn, Chapter 9.